Okay, so there are 4 things that we're gonna be focusing on when we're transporting the children. First thing, we're not kidnapping any children. Second thing, we're getting every single child that is on the list. Third thing, we're getting the paperwork done and it is filled out correctly. And the fourth thing, we're enforcing every single rule that the state has. Before the route, when you come in, you have to check the no pickup board and new pickup board. Every single day you're gonna have to do that because you're gonna need to know who's going to get picked up and who's not gonna get picked up. It's super important that we don't kidnap children and that we pick up every single child that we have. Next thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and get all your paperwork for that day and for that week. Comb through it to make sure that all the dates are correct, all the times are correct, and that you have all your essential paperwork, like your ID, your insurance, and registration. Once you get to your van, you're gonna start checking that bad boy out and inspecting it immediately. We don't wanna give any sort of compromised vehicles on the street while they're transporting children. So check the tires, turn on the vehicle, check to see if there's any lights. If there's something wrong with your vehicle, contact your director and we're gonna get you a spare vehicle immediately. Next thing that you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and Bluetooth to that vehicle so that way you're hands-free driving as you're driving the children. Once you get to the actual school, what you want to do is you're going to be mindful of all the road changes because there's going to be speed traps going into the school and out of the school, and police are going to be waiting for you. Next thing what you do is actually when you pull up, the kids are going to try to run onto the van. The teachers are going to try to stuff the kids onto the van. They're going to be moving very, very quickly. You're going to slow it down by getting them in line and asking them individually what's your first and last name. This ensures that we're picking up every single person that we're supposed to be picking up, and we're not picking up anybody that we're not supposed to be picking up. Once they answer that question, you check them off on your paperwork and tell them to get into the van. If something is wrong with the line, say there are kids in the line that are not on your actual list, or there are kids on the list that are not in your actual line, you're going to do 2 things. Get a teacher immediately in order to rectify the problem and call the home base, call the gym, and we're gonna figure it out and we'll give you instructions from there. After the kids actually get onto the van, you're gonna establish the van rules. And one of those rules is everybody has to have their seatbelt on. Not just the seatbelt here, but also the shoulder strap. It's perfect for the children and it's gonna keep them safe as they go to the gym. The next thing that we gotta do is we gotta put our book bags on the floor and every single thing we have inside of our book bags, absolutely nothing out. The reason for this is because if they have a pencil out or they're chewing on gum or something like that and somebody hits us, then this can become a choking hazard or that pencil can end up in somebody's arm or somebody's leg or somebody's eye. We want to exnate all of that. Now this last part is last, but it's also the most important part, other than kidnapping, of course. This part is going to end up getting you 10 years in prison. Once you pull up to the gym, you're going to actually wait for your second check partner to come up and knock on your window. Once they do that, you take the keys out of the ignition, you place it down on the seat, and you move around to the other side of the van to meet your second check partner and open the van to watch the kids. Now the kids are going to be excited. They're going to want to come into the gym immediately. They're going to try to take off their seatbelt and jump out the van. You're going to stop them, keep their seatbelt on, point to the first kid and ask them for their first and last name, of course. Because now we're going to be unloading the children off the van. We unload them one by one to ensure that we get every single child off that van. Once you do that, you're going to initiate your first check. You're going to jump into the van physically and look through every single row and underneath every single seat to make sure that there are 0 children on the van. Remember, if there are any children left on the van, it's 10 years in prison, and we don't want that at all for anybody. Next thing you do is you're going to go to your second check partner, high five, to transfer the responsibility from them to you to watch the children, and they're gonna do their second check. And they're gonna look through every single row and underneath every single seat as well. They're gonna sign off, and you're gonna get your binder back. Now, after that, one of 2 things are going to happen. Either one, you're done with your route for the day and you're coming in and you take your children and you go eat snack with them. Or 2, you're gonna go back out on another route, okay? If you're going back out on another route, what's gonna end up happening is your second check partner is going to grab your kids and take them inside to eat snack, and you're gonna go right into your van and start on your last route. As a receptionist, you're gonna be dealing a lot with this software called ProCare. ProCare Solutions is a child care management software program that we use, and it is vital for JAMS Athletics to function. It's going to have things like reports. That's going to be super important when we go on the field trips. It's going to take care of payments. It's going to take care of allergies. It's going to take care of registration, everything. You're going to get more in detail as you get more into the in-depth training and person-to-person training. Next thing that you have to worry about is ClassDojo. We use ClassDojo. It's a free software that we use that also connects with the schools. We use it to track homework. 9 months out of the year, we're doing homework and we're actually tracking it with the parents. We have the parents connect with our ClassDojo so that way they get updates when the children finishes homework, doesn't have homework, leaves before homework is done, and that way they can keep track of their homework and their academic success. You're going to get more training on the ClassDojo person-to-person once you get further into the training. Field trips are vital because we're transporting children and bringing them to an entire different facility with entire different rules and procedures, and we have to ensure that every child gets back safely. So, knowing that, again, we are at risk of going to jail if we mess up on any of the procedures when it comes to field trips. When we're doing this, your job is to ensure that the lists are correct and that every single coach gets the correct list with the correct amount of kids, and they are notified on time when they need to be leaving and when they need to be departing. That is your job. When it comes to checkout, you are the first line of defense for anybody that's trying to come in here and mess with any of the kids, take the kids, or just, vagrants or solicitors. So you are the face of the company. I want you to be smiley. I want you to be bright. I want you to be warm, but I also want you to be firm. Every single person that comes into the building, you need to ask for their ID to check to see if they're on the list, which child they're inquiring about. If they're not on the list, they're not with a child that they're inquiring about, then they need to be notified immediately that they cannot see the child, they cannot be with the child, they cannot take the child here, and they cannot go beyond the lobby. Answering the phone is super important in any business, but in childcare, it is a requirement. We are childcare. We are taking care of people's children. At any point in time, a parent calls to try to speak to their child or ask a question, we have to be there for them because we have their babies here. We have their most prized possession with us at all times. So at all times, you need to have your phone with you. If you are at the front desk, your phone's right there. It's very easy. If you're not at the front desk, the phone has a little clip. I want you to click that onto your belt, onto your pants as you even walk, so that way you're always there and ready for that phone call. The next part is keeping in contact with the parents. Again, you are the face. The parents don't get to see the coaches. They don't get to see the classes all the time, but every single day they're gonna see you in your face. So you wanna be bright, you wanna be warm, and you wanna be transparent. Contact them at any point in time. There are going to be things that you have to contact them on, such as incidents and conduct reports. But if you just have a feeling, maybe I should call the parent, make the call. It's always better to make the call and keep in contact with them than not to make the call. And anytime you call a parent, what I want you to do is I want you to double that up with a text message and an email at all points of time, because that gives you track record. So when your director comes to you and they say, did you contact this parent? You say, not only did I call them, but I texted and emailed them. And I can see it right here, you guys. And that's gonna be great. It's gonna save your butt, and it's gonna get the parents even more ability to be in contact with you. So the next thing that we're gonna be talking about is chill out. And you have a hand in the chill out. Sometimes the kids are going to misbehave. They're going to have bad days, and that's just normal for children of any age. But we're going to stay in contact with the parents. If a child gets a full write-up, we're going to call that parent, text that parent, and email that parent immediately, letting them know how the child's doing, giving them the option to talk to the child to try to get them in the better headspace. Or if the child has to get picked up, then that will be something that we would ask of the parents as well. Other than that, the next thing that you want to do is you want to keep that right up there. It's going to have a little area for the parents to actually sign and date on there. We're going to get that signature when they come and pick up their child, whether it's immediately or if it's at the end of the day. So that way we'll have a paper trail of it. They'll have a paper trail of it. And we know for a fact that we've contacted them. And the last thing is customer intake. When the customers are coming in, there may be a bunch of different customers coming in, a bunch of different things going on at the same time. You want to be smiley, you want to be bubbly, and you want to be caring and attentive to their needs. Ask them a lot of questions. Try to figure out what they need. Try to see if they fit with our program. Be very, very transparent. What we don't want is people assuming that our program does one thing and in fact it does another thing. We want to be fully upfront and honest with what our services are and what we offer to the parents so that way they can fit us into their schedule. Do not feel like you have to sell anything. Just tell them about what we do and how we may be able to help them in their daily lives. As you do that, you're going to go on with the registration process when it comes to DocuSign and ProCare. But again, that's going to be something that you're going to be doing one-on-one with more training. Okay, now we're talking about Chill Out. Now, Chill Out is a behavior modification classroom. It is not a punishment. I cannot stress this enough. What we are doing is we're taking children out of the classroom that are being disruptive or cannot go through the normal activities. And so that way, the rest of the children can continue with their normal activities. In Chill Out Classroom, you're still trying to have fun with the kids. We're going to give you crayons. We're going to give you artwork. We're going to give you blocks and Legos and books to read. It's going to be fun. We're going to have Connect 4 and a whole bunch of different stuff to have fun and enjoy your time with the children while they're in Chill Out. While the rest of the kids are going to be doing their activities like tumbling and dance and basketball, maybe these kids aren't ready for that just yet, but they still should be able to have a good time at Jams Athletics. Rules when it comes to Chill Out. We want the kids to be having fun and doing some sort of activity at all times. 2, some kids enjoy Chill Out, just that low, calm atmosphere, period. But they can't go to Chill Out unless they have a full write-up. So we want to make sure that every single child that is in Chill Out has a full write-up by a teacher, and their parents are going to be being called at the front desk. Next thing that happens in Chill Out, if you're still having problems with the child that's in Chill Out, then you need to radio the front desk immediately and notify the parents to come get them at that time. If it gets into a serious problem, write them up again, and unfortunately, then they would be suspended. But I want to emphasize, this is not a punishment. We want to just take those children out of the classroom because they're disrupting the regular flow of how the class is going. And as we take them out, the regular class can go ahead and continue their flow. We want these children to still have a good day at Jams. When it comes to bathroom monitors and snack time, supervision is key. First thing you want to do is you want to prep for the children to come in. You want to make sure that you have all the snacks, that you have a grain and a fruit like the state says that you have to have. And for your bathroom monitors, you want to make sure that you have enough toilet tissue, you want to make sure you have enough paper towels, you have enough soap for each and every child. When the children come in, they're immediately going to start washing their hands. And the state says that every children has to wash their hands for 25 seconds underneath the water. So you need to be listening out and sending people back to wash their hands before they actually eat to keep up the cleanliness. As you do that, you send them to the snack area. They're going to receive a snack. Every single child, again, must receive a snack. Not every single child has to eat their snack or will eat their snack. If they share their snack, just make sure that they're not sharing it with somebody that a snack has already been opened or with somebody that has allergies that would conflict with the snack that is to be given. Other than that, sit down with the kids, talk to them, supervise with them, and it's great. Once snack time is over after the 5 minutes of snack, they're going straight back to the restroom again to use the bathroom and to wash their hands for 25 seconds. I know it seems redundant, but that is what the state demands of every single time you eat snack. You have to wash your hands before and after. And the last thing is cleaning. Once the kids get out of the bathroom or they get up from the table, immediately start the cleanup process. Start cleaning off the table, underneath the tables, through the seats, and the same thing with the bathrooms. Go in each and every stall to make sure that it is sanitary and we're not looking at an overflow problem anywhere. Other than that, that's about it when it comes to snack and bathroom monitor. Okay, we're going to be talking about sports and homework. First, we're going to be talking about sports. It's the easiest thing to talk about. First thing that you guys want to do is you're going to prep. Prep for your day. Have a lesson plan. Have a backup plan and have a plan C for if any of those plans don't go right. You want to keep the kids active at all times, constantly playing a game with them, constantly doing drills, constantly getting new skills. If somebody gets a new skills, congratulate them. Stop the whole class. Give them high fives. It's going to be great, and it's going to be a great time for them. Next thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is you're keeping the children's belongings inside their cubbies. We don't want shoes being missing and coats being missing when the parents are coming to pick them up. So it's your job to ensure that every single piece of article of clothing that they have, or their book bags or their homework, is inside their cubby, safe and ready for them before they leave. And then the last part is to stay on time. Stay on time as we're doing transitions. Everything runs together like an organism inside Jans Athletics. And if one part is late or one part is too early, it messes up the entire flow. So we want to make sure that you're staying on time and you're killing the game. Next thing that we're going to be talking about is homework time. This is super important because it's so important for our kids to get their homework done. It's important for their grades, and it's super important for their parents. They're gonna be excited about it. The kids are not gonna be so excited about it, so we have to make sure that it gets done as we walk into the gym. First thing is to get everybody set up with homework tables and the stations. You're gonna help them out with their homework, and don't spend too much time on one child. You wanna be moving around and helping out everybody, making sure that everybody has a chance to get their homework done, especially if they have a very easy, small question. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pop out your pad that has Class Dojo on it. And we're going to be alerting the parents if they got finished with their homework, taking a picture of it, sending it to them. If they don't have any homework, letting them know. If they left early, if anything that has anything to do with their homework, we're letting the parents know on each and every child that's in the classroom. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to clean up the classroom. Before you leave, you need to clean up the classroom. Keep it smooth and ready for the next day. We're going to sit the kids down and we're going to read with the kids. Either have the kids read out loud and then pass it around from kid to kid, or you read to the kid and show them pictures, depending on their level of literacy, of course. And finally, for the homework time, is transition and their belongings. Just like the sports, we want to transition on time every time, so that way we're not backing up the entire gym because of one class. So make sure you guys are ready for the transitions every single time, and make sure that you're keeping their belongings in their cubbies, in their homeworks, in their book bags. It sucks when a kid does all their homework and they lose it because they never put it in their book bag, and then they get a 0 or an F for that grade. So we're gonna put it on you as your responsibility to make sure it gets in there.